Swear to God, this is a real headline. Steaks cooked in microwave are better, say scientists. So this is why you should always listen to the experts, right? Am I right?
I'm sorry. Was the scientist Trump? Remember Trump likes a well-done ketchup steak?
Yeah.
And what an idiot he is?
You ever been to a...
But it was science.
You ever been to a many times I've been to a really good steak place, and someone at the table will order a well-done steak. And it's like, you could just buy the biggest piece of shit steak and do that, and it wouldn't taste any different.
You better be running for president.
It wouldn't taste any different. You can't tell the difference between a good steak and a bad steak if you cook it well done.
You don't like
There's
a dry
no
age?
difference.
I like a dry aged, microwaved, well done steak because that's. Who cares what a scientist said? What did a chef say? Or a
right. This is what a
scientist said. Better how molecularly.
Well, here's what they say, Kurt. Got beef? Nuke it. A scientist says it's best to pop that bad boy directly into a lazy chef's preferred household appliance. It's always a good idea to heat the meat first in a microwave, explains physicist George Vekinis on BBC's podcast Instant Genius.
So don't cook the whole thing in it. He means like try to kill whatever inside.
Well, let's listen to what he says.
Okay.
He says when you cook it directly from the fridge, essentially what you're doing is not heating up the meat from the inside. First of all, you're supposed to let it warm up. You're supposed to keep it out and let it sit out for a little while before you cook it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Physics in the kitchen. He wrote Physics in the Kitchen. Vetkins, too, discouraged gourmands from salting the cut prior to frying it, telling podcast listeners salt has the osmotic ability to drag out as much water as possible from the meat, and you're going to get tough and inedible. So I've been eating steak my whole life, and I know how to cook a steak that's super tender, and they salt it. So you're just wrong about that. Yeah, maybe if you salt it and leave it there for hours and hours, but not if you salt it and then cook it right away.
It's never once done that to me. Because I only like medium rare.
Medium rare. Yeah. I've never had. So he's acting like I've never eaten a steak before that was salted. I've eaten steaks that are always salted and they're always tender, moist, and juicy inside. And he's saying you're going to get a tough and inedible. Salt must never be put on the steak before frying. Never? That's not true.
Okay.
This is the listen to the experts. Put it in a microwave for 1 or 2 minutes, depends on the thickness of the meat. Then you'll fry it quickly, a short time, as short as possible, just to give it that little bit of reaction on the surface. He said, adding that the searing process shouldn't exceed 60 seconds.
So it's a 4-minute steak I'm making with the microwave?
He said 3-minute steak. 2 minutes in the microwave, 1 minute cooking, and that's it. 1 minute frying. That's not how steaks work. I bet you this guy doesn't run a restaurant. How about that?
I want to try it just to see if it works.
The temperature inside the meat should reach at least 131 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the absolute minimum. So you get the slight aroma and pleasure of the taste. The ideal way of eating the meat is medium rare, so it's going to be slightly red and cooked on the outside. The only way to be absolutely sure of that is that you either start with a thin piece of meat or you have a thicker piece of meat that has been heated properly internally with microwaves. I would not go to that guy's restaurant. If I did, it would only be report back how shitty it was.
Okay, I've never heard of this physicist, and I don't know why he's working on this particular project.
Yeah, what else?
I don't know. Physics has stalled. String theory is a bust.
It is a bust.
Get to work on some kind of new energy source.
String theory is a bust.
Yeah, I wasted 6 years probably trying to figure out that stupid.
Yeah, I've tried to figure out string theory. I've watched video after video of guys trying to explain it.
They just say hey, everything's a hologram, so nothing's real. But I shouldn't believe in God, another not real thing. I'm not real. Okay, I guess science. Oh, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson informed me that gender is fluid. The guy who can't believe flat earthers are stupid.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson, turns out he's another one of those super smart dumb guys.
It seems to me biology is not even a science. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I can't believe somebody thinks the earth is flat. You can't? Yeah. It's hard for you to believe, is it?
Hey, come see us doing a live stand-up show. We'll be in Burbank, California, Oxnard, California, Venice, California, Palmdale, California. Then we're going to Omaha, Des Moines, Milwaukee, Lansing, Bend, Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, and Boston, Massachusetts. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for all those tickets.